Zeka's health bar there. Yeah, Barrel gonna have to get out, and oh dear, definitely in a lot of trouble. Understood that he was going to die ahead.
So what I mentioned about the sitting bottom isn't going to come fully true here, as Gumayusi and Carryout, with that wave timing you were kind of talking about, are going to rotate up, but they pushed Zeka out. They're going to collapse.
Yeah, Track Repel comes on in there as Barrel crashes down towards Gumayusi, trying to get him out of there, but Carrier is not going to be so lucky. And T1 are going to take the Rift Herald in the meantime. This is on full vision, and unfortunately, with the fact that they invested into that fight, they missed out on the timing. Faker turning up here in this mid lane and is actually playing aggressively because Owner is in the area. Zeka now has been exhausted, has to flash get himself out of the way as Owner is going to ult over the wall. Zeka still running from this one. See whether he can actually keep himself safe as he okay, kills the blast cone and then dies.
Zeka needs to be very careful. Owner, that's not the right path to take.
That's not exactly where he wants to be as Magnet Storm comes in. Beryl actually just goes so incredibly deep, and he will just be taken down. That's a slight overextension. Good reposition there. Zeka, can he actually survive this one? Picks up the kill onto Owner. Faker so extraordinarily low. The Q is going to connect though, and now Carrier is going to die as well. Pyoshik grabs that kill, and DRX respond.
I mean, there were definitely some very big overextensions on both sides, shall we say, in that fight. Like, nothing about that was really well played out or cleanly played out here. As we're going to watch Faker all in here on to Zeka with Owner's help. And Owner, I would like to see this from Owner's perspective, but yeah, we are actually now going to see that. I think that's what they wanted to do.
Need as many pro views as possible. That's how it works.
So W's flashes is a bit of an error, but
fail flash and then the ult over the wall.
And he does ult over the wall, as mentioned, and yeah, he just couldn't get to the blast plant. Doesn't matter.
All in commit, not quite there. As there's the flash forward from Beryl. Mega Inferno Bomb, not exactly going to get the value that they really want, and Owner's now picking up these resets. Good knock up onto Carrier, but he's not the priority target, and Pyoshik is going to get taken down in the end. Gumayusi stays alive. Red-white guns definitely helping him out there, and that is a very, very nice set.
Earlier, they just, when they get a lead, they grab on and they do not let go.
Well, in goes Zeka, finds himself the ulti. There's the fear onto Zeus as well, and he's basically out of the fight. Carrier is going to die first as the Moonlight Vigil goes entirely wide. And now Gumayusi, a bit of a sitting duck, as there's a Hextech ultimatum. Nothing he can do about it. Zeka almost dies, but that is 2 quick kills on the defense for DRX. He can and should be okay with the help of the turret, as Zeus taking a few extra shots than he otherwise would want to. Kingan's actually been staying in this matchup quite nicely. So that is definitely good for DRX. The side lane not completely over just yet.
Yeah, his laning has been much better today than it has in the last 2 series, that is for sure.
Ooh, Beryl taking a lot of damage here as the turret does eventually go down. You can see Kingan left. Wanted to try and get towards this 5v5 to allow DRX to get to that soul point. Beryl almost too low to engage. And Zeus, yeah, he's keeping them on the clock, and DRX getting more and more desperate. They are going to try and burst down this dragon, but they will have to say goodbye to a large portion of their base, as you can see. Teleport to come forward, and now the flank from the Fiora is on. Pyoshik down very, very low, and Owner steals away the dragon. Cataclysm, the flash comes out, and Gumayusi doesn't have his anymore, but he stays alive for so long, eventually does fall down, and the Rel going to be traded as well, as Zeus diving over the top. He threw out the challenge, and immediately Def just exploded. As now Zeka, can he actually get enough of these fears to actually work out? And the answer looks like it's going to be no, as Kingan's going to go down. This could just be the ace, as the Vex nowhere to go. Zeus no mana, and so I think that Zeka will survive for the moment, but it looks like T1 have Baron on their mind.
Yeah, easy Baron follow-up here. The steal on the Drake is nice, but honestly, DRX in such a bad position, even if they had secured the Drake there, it's not really a win for them. The reason why this fight happened this way, the 2 things we were talking about, the Corki poke and the Zeus push, is why DRX felt pressured to look for any type of engage there and try to force the Drake so T1 would come to them. The problem is that Kingan did not have teleport, so he had to walk down, which gave so much extra time to Zeus, who did have his teleport available, and is able to teleport flank. You can see it there on the bottom of your screen. So you're caught between a rock and a hard place here. Zeka is so far away because he's trying to make sure that he can live long enough to do the damage. Even with his bomb coming through to finish off Gumayusi, Zeka is relatively invisible in this fight. Is holding that fear bar real long here, but there's just no turn. And he was so scared of that teleport flank from the Fiora, he just didn't get close enough to realistically do anything in the fight. Didn't hit any poke, and hate to be critical of this guy and his return to Korea, but that was unfortunately not how to play the situation out. Too much control to T1, that teleport advantage stacking up.
Yeah.
And now they've got a Baron buff to take out some of these inhibitors.
It's not really working out here for DRX. And you mentioned stuck between a rock and a hard place, but I think it's stuck between a rock and a hard place and the roof is falling. Like, there are too many.
And everything's on fire.
And everything's on fire, and there's snakes, and it's just really an awful time. Like, DRX honestly just don't have any good decisions that they can make right now, because Fiora in a side lane is putting on exactly the amount of pressure that she needs to, and T1 are keeping DRX in positions where they can't even win the fights because Faker's going to win out on that poke war.
Oh, look at the gold. Zeka is the first one at less than 10k here across the graph.
And now, like, the best thing that you can look at as a DRX fan is, like, can they make it past 30 minutes?
Yeah.
As Pyoshik is going to try and get into this backline, but before he can even use his flag, he's taken to 100 health. Mega Inferno Bomb finds absolutely no one, as Owner is going to be able to turn into a Jarvan and see whether he can do a better job. He dives forward. Kingen going to get taken down. The grand challenge going to be there to heal everyone back up. And Owner is still looking for more. Man, this guy's popping off, as he is going to be able to help take down this inhibitor. And T1, we'll see whether they stay for the end or whether it is just going to be another reset. But I have a feeling that they probably have enough to just win this game right here.
Yeah, it looks very likely. They have this wave coming through, 2 cannon minions empowered by the Baron, and they have so much damage. Owner at almost no health, doesn't even care.
Yep. And Gumushi flashing forward because he can. He may as well use it. Zeker is going to get taken down by Faker in the end, and that is the victory. T1 180 from what he did the last time around. As we have a look at T1 absolutely decimate this team fight. Pyoshik once again overextending just a little bit, had a bit of a stinker again, unfortunately, here for DRX. Let's see it, T1.
Let's go. 너무 신났어.
Owner's having a really good time.
직세 잡는 거 아니면 힘들 수도
Yeah, it's really great to see like how happy this roster looks this year too.
Yeah.
Based on, you know, last year we had some struggles, we had some really tough times, and this is the roster they decided on. They still didn't take the title, they weren't able to go to the World Finals, but they stuck together with obviously Zeus being the new addition, and they look good. Calling's clean, comms are clean.
Yeah, and I liked it as well, like, you know, like, take it slow, don't get overexcited like you did earlier in the game, all that sort of stuff. Very impressive. Def did the most damage in the game, but he zigs. That's just generally how it works, although out-damaging a Corki is a pretty big deal. Zeus, though, versus Kingen on the top side of the map, I think this is one